Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Inside Politics here on KTN News for the final part of the show where we get to hear your thoughts, your opinion on what's happening in this country politically. Let's take a look at some of your tweets very quickly. John Minor tweets and says there's no part of Jubilee that is interested in delivering what they promised in 2017. Both sides are strategizing on who will take over power in 2022, one directly and the other through proxies. David Karaoke says the DPP should not behave like a peacock. It should be like an eagle. Aim with precision and convict these high-profile cases. Stop the comedy. Where Fabian says on Twitter, politicians are selfish. You should stop joking with the intelligence of the electorate. C.S. Tobiko was vetted by Parliament, and his appointment was recommended to the President. We also have Simon Kamau, where he says, any right-thinking Kenyan cannot take Murathe seriously. The man is taking us for a ride. We also have Mkenya Daima, who says, if the nomination of the gubernatorial seat in Migori in 2017 is anything to go by, then you know why Okoth Obado is unwanted. That is Mkenya Daima's opinion there. Ambassador says on Twitter, war against corruption has been politicized. Political parties used it as a tool to punish leaders who are not loyal to the party. Remind Kipchumba that no party has conducted free and fair nominations since independence. A lot of tweets to go through. Keep the conversation on going on Twitter. The hashtag is Inside Politics. Let's go to the phone lines now very quickly. Let's begin from E10 with Kibet Koech. Kibet, good afternoon.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon.
Yes, Kibet, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, talk to us.
Yeah, I want to talk about this. In politics and corruption.
Yes.
For one and the thing, you cannot separate them. Like in Kenya, these political parties are very close to a vehicle, which are aiming to deliver somebody or some people to leadership. Like other countries like Tanzania or who have believe in ideologies, they're something that
I don't know if you can speak up, maybe.
Yeah?
Your line is not very clear. Maybe you could speak up a bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's better.
Yeah, so I'm saying political parties are Kenya, they're like vehicles or clothes. They're just aiming to deliver people to leadership positions. And like other countries like Tanzania, where they believe in certain ideology, and this is where they believe they have something they believe in. And
what lessons do you think Kenyans or Kenyan political stakeholders will learn from what has happened with the Jubilee Party?
No, they have not learned. In Kenya, the politicians, they are not enemies. They are not permanent enemies. They'll just they laugh at during the day, and during the night they are friends. So in Kenya, they'll never learn. And the issue of CSS, they're engaging in politics currently, and yet in 2010 when the constitution was being promulgated, they say CSS are not politicians.
All right.
Like you see now, Kireko Tobiko is engaging in politics. The likes of Mutaikago, they're engaging in politics. It is so sad, and corruption is everywhere. There's no single party can say there's no corruption. So sad.
What's your take on the politicization of the war on corruption? Does it help?
See, like in the case of Obado, because you see, been engaged in corruption, and the likes of Mike Sonko, the likes of Sosito Jamong, and they are left scot-free. It's so sad.
Okay, thank you. Kibet Koech calling us from E10. Let's go to Daniel Terrer calling us from the county of Baringo. Daniel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, thank you for calling in. Talk to us. Let's begin with the fight against corruption.
Okay, I would like to start by saying the war on corruption is not the president's issue as purported by David Murathe. It is a question of all responsible Kenyans, not Murathe to that Uhuru said this or that about corruption.
Right.
It is totally uncalled for. And in fact, Kenyans elected Uhuru Kenyatta not because Uhuru Kenyatta was a saint. Uhuru Kenyatta happened to have been the most popular by that time. but Kenyans still have a pool of 50 million Kenyans, and they can pick one from that pool. So for Murathe to say that Uhuru Kenyatta wants this or that about corruption is totally wrong. It is a question of you, the panelists, and you, the anchor, and everyone else to fight corruption. It's only that these fellows at the top are taking advantage of us. Number two, on the same corruption, ODM purports to fight corruption on one hand and supports the same on the other hand. When you look at the Busia governor, Hospital Jamong, ODM has not started the process of impeaching the same governor. ODM supported Anne Waiguru the other day in the Senate. ODM has not talked about the issue of KEMSA. ODM only wants Obado to go home, not because Obado is bad. It is because Mbadi has a conflict of interest. That is my hypothesis for now. Mbadi wants to use the MCAs to get Obado out of the office so that by the time 2022 arrives, then the people of Kuria will see him as a good man and therefore elect him en masse as the governor of Migori. Number three, Jubilee on politics.
Yes. Tell us very
Jubilee,
quickly on politics, but Mbadi comes from the county of Homa Bay, not Migori. But tell us what you think about Jubilee, very quickly, 30 seconds. Okay,
Jubilee is dead. Jubilee is only there on paper, and the reality is that Jubilee is no longer there. Finally, is that for now, Ruto is being used as a loyalty meter, whereby if you want to show that you are loyal to the president,
yes,
William Ruto is now the political punching bag. You punch William Ruto to show that you are loyal to the president. And Keriako Tobiko said was unfortunate and uncalled for.
Thank you so much for your call and your thoughts, Daniel. Daniel Tarer calling us from the county of Migori. Let's go back to the county of Migori and talk to Engineer Kevin Okech. Engineer, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ben.
Yes, let's start with what is happening in your county, county number 44, the impeachment of Obado.
Thank you very much, Ben. And as always, happy to see Hezbon Owila on the studios. Ben, I want to really say that in my county, Obado remains innocent until proven guilty as enshrined in the Constitution. I really wish to say, Ben, that Obado's case, looking at Obado's case and other governors, let us have a set of rules that actually guide the principles on how we deal with cases of corruption. Because we cannot say, Ben, that today another governor in a different county is having corruption charges leveled against him and continues to serve, and all the parties are very comfortable with that. But when another governor is actually has cases against him, then we really push against him. And I would really wish to say that even you saw this in Waititu's case, and you saw this on Waiguru's case, and now we are seeing Obado's case. Honestly, let political parties be able to also respect the Constitution and let us look at the issue of innocence until proven guilty as enshrined in the Constitution. Ben, I really want to say that Obado's impeachment by the NCS may be a tall order for the ODM party, because the ODM party also allowed Obado and these MCAs to actually be elected, and most of the NCAs that were elected are cronies that are very close to Mr. Obado. And I would really say that his impeachment will really take a very harsh side of history. I would also like to say that Murathe seems to be having a more detailed evidences on the cases as far as KEMSA is concerned, because he seems to understand the nitty-gritties around the procurement procedures in KEMSA when it does not work in KEMSA and is not the DCI. So he remains the person of interest on issues of the KEMSA case. Finally, let me say about Jubilee that Jubilee remains losing its taste, because when we look at how the cabinet secretaries are actually arguing with Mr. Deputy President William Ruto, we are really seeing that there is a lot of loss of respect, and I am seeing Jubilee which is going to be very dead before we arrive on 2022, and this is not going to work well with both interested and uninterested parties.
Thank you, Engineer, for talking to us today. Let's have one final call from County of Kisumu. Let's talk to Gian Wahome. Gian, good afternoon. Thank you for calling in. Let's begin with your party, Jubilee. Are gloves finally off?
Thank you, Ben. Long time. Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear you? Go ahead.
Yeah, I told you kitambo kidogo ya kwamba the gloves were already off, and it's evident that a relationship in Jubilee between the deputy president and the president was built on a very quick sand. And Ben, you remember I talked on this show and said that as long as we are in the business of forming government for the purposes of benefiting one or two or three communities, then we'll never get it right in this country. The proxies wars you're witnessing today in Jubilee are also a contributor to the stalemate on the revenue allocation bill in Parliament. Ben, we have to decide as a country, and it's unfortunate this one, I'm saying it as a member of Jubilee, my party. We have to decide as a country in one accord that Jubilee, the government that I elected, has failed Kenyans. And I want to say it very openly. And we have to agree as a country that the individuals, William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, have to exit the political arena in 2022. Those that believe that William Ruto can make a good president than Uhuru Kenyatta, those are people that are not in, those are people who have accepted, have refused to accept the realities in this country.
So when you say that, Gian, what do you think the future of Jubilee Party is?
Ben, there is no future. There is no future. And you can see it, and what is currently happening in this country, they are just individuals who are trying to retain power. And that's why, Ben, as a supporter of the BBI, I'm not a supporter of the BBI in creation of special seats for special individuals. The BBI that I'm going to support in this country is the BBI that empowers more the counties. And it is a BBI that is going to empower the counties and also reduce the political seats that we are having in this country. Lastly, Ben, as I speak to you right now, the governor of Nairobi County is in Kisumu right now. And I've just passed across a certain hotel and I can see a multitude of people waiting for him outside. And this is the culture that is disturbing this country. The people are desperate. As we talk today, even the governors that are facing accountability issues in those counties, they're just working with money, giving them to the masses, and we must stop this culture as a country if we want to get it right in 2022.
All right. Thank you, Gian Wahome, calling us from the county of Kisumu. That will be the last call for today. Many thanks to everyone who has called in to give us their thoughts, views, and comments. Let's go to the lady and gentleman with me in the show for their final comments. Let me begin with you, Hezbon. Give us your final thoughts. 1 minute only.
Well, I think, Ben, for my 1 minute, I think I need to address the issue of corruption and probably contextualize what is happening today. There is a sense in which a number of political players want to make corruption an issue going into the 2022 general election. There is a smear campaign that is pushed by a few individuals to ensure that everyone is tainted, especially looking at the cancer haze. I think the people who have called for thorough investigation have a valid reason, because if everyone is called and it is a question of this one mentioning the other person, the only robust avenue we can have is thorough investigation.
Thank you, Hezbon. Dismas, your final thoughts.
Well, Ben, it's a very good day for Kenya when a Jubilee politician admits in public that Jubilee as a political party has failed. And for us to be able to make progress, we need to place a premium on meritocracy. Now, it's actually a tragedy if we keep on electing people who get an A in impunity, A in mediocrity, and A in corruption. We give them a political office and expect miracles. We'll only have ourselves to blame in 2022 if we do not take the next 2 years to reflect on these people who want to run for political seats. If we don't look at the scoreboard and look at their record on corruption, on development, and in an autocracy. But right now we have even people want to become presidents in 2022. Yep. Right now the conversation is about who has stolen whose cow and who has stolen more. Who has stolen whose goats and who has stolen more goats. They're not addressing issues that affect Murah and Wakesho and Amina. So when we get to 2022, let's look at the scoreboard and give anybody who has scored an A in impunity, A in corruption, A in anything which is unsocial, let's give them a wide berth and give them a soft landing as private citizens in Kenya.
Thank you, Dismas. Kipchumba, give us your final thoughts.
Ben, I think what we must tell Kenyans is that corruption will be fought effectively in the ballot. The remnants of corruption from then henceforth can be dealt with the agencies. Let us support the DCI, the DPP, the EACC by kicking out corrupt politicians. And on the other hand, we've been told that BPI seeks to create positions that will accommodate each community in the national dining table. But my question is this: if we cannot respect one office, that office of a deputy president, yes, how will we respect a paper office in the name of office of a prime minister and an office of a deputy prime minister? We need to be serious as a people.
Thank you, Bwana Wakili. Cherotich have the final word today.
Thanks, Ben. I just wanted to speak to Wakenya watching this show today, watching on their phones or television and so on. They're paying electricity bills, they're buying data bundles. Everything lands on us. The cost of living is unaffordable. And since we have been forced into electioneering already by the politicians, I would like to urge Kenyans to consider a candidate whose sole objective is to clean up the country by fighting corruption, by investigating, by prosecuting, by incarcerating those who have been involved in corruption. Right now, what we see is a series of options that are not tenable. Death by hanging, death by firing squad, or death by guillotine. We have the same array of people who want to come out and lead us.